Hello everybody, good evening. You're very much welcome to yet another interesting edition of our show, my show, our show, Baroness Jay's World. I just fiddling with my necklace before I went and it just broke, so God. So if I haven't gone elsewhere or anything, I had this song but it broke. I don't know how it happened, but that's that. I just felt I needed to explain that. You're welcome to the show from the studios of NaijaFM here in the fantastic city of London. I just hope I can beat Eye on the Force and all the swagger and everything I was talking about. I'm going to plug my own show to my own program, to my own event, but that's going to be later on in the show. You're very much welcome as you join us on www.naijafm.com, on 101.1 FM, and also on Facebook Live. Thank you very much for joining me on this show that promises to be I don't even know how to describe it, because what I want to talk about today is what touches or must have touched most of us one way or the other, directly or indirectly. I want to talk. I'm just going to go straight into the program because there's so much to talk about, and I don't want to waste any moment at all. I'm just going to use all the available time possible. I am still about 5 minutes of my time, so I'm just going to make the best of what's left for us. Talking about knife crime in London, particularly London, we know, the statistics tell us that the knife crime, I don't know why I keep saying gun, knife crime has gone up at least 24% over last year. In the past 2 weeks alone, we have 13 now because there were two stabbings, one fatality and one, thank God, that was just seriously wounded yesterday. So that brings the number to 13 in 2 weeks. That gives us an average of one stabbing a day, and in that number, 12 of them unfortunately lost their lives. So in an average of 0.75, if you can even use that, if that makes sense. But let's just say the average of one person, one teenager, one child being killed on the streets of London per day. How did we get here? And for somebody like me that brought up a son, I've got 3 kids, but I've also got a son who is in uni at the moment. If you're listening to me, you'd agree with me. You probably even understand where I'm coming from with this. When my kids were younger and my son was in secondary school, I used to worry more about him than I worried about the girls. Because we've come to realize that it just takes you looking at somebody the wrong way before you offend them, and then they start getting aggressive and then everything, and before you know it, the knife is out. You don't even see it. I tell my son, even if it's your best friend, if it's anybody, just please just run away. You're not going to be a coward. You're going to have your life. Even if it's your best friend involved in a fight, don't try and settle fights. I have not sent you to school to be a peacemaker. I've sent you to go and study and come back home alive. If you see 2 people fighting or 20 people fighting, even if they are fighting a girl, I beg you in the name of God, just run off and call somebody or call the police on your mobile phone. That is one of the reasons I bought you a phone. And you would either be a witch, a wizard, very, very thoughtless, or you don't have children. That if you are not touched by what is going on out there, and it doesn't even have to be your kid, it doesn't have to be somebody, these are children that survived pregnancy, children that survived babyhood, I don't know what to call it, infancy. You talk about all this, childhood, infancy illnesses, they survive, they caught death and all those things. The child that you brought up went to school. I'll give you a very good example. One of those was actually brought tears to my eyes, actually wept about. The one that was killed in Charlton late last year. He finished from uni just barely a few months. The very first job he got, he was coming back. He was going home, waiting at the bus stop to get a bus home after a day of work. And when I was at the wrong postcode, or he looked at some people funny, or they just didn't like him, he was attacked and unfortunately was stabbed to death. A Nigerian boy, I know born in Britain and all that, but of Nigerian parenthood. So these are the kind of things that and it seems to be happening on a regular basis, on a daily basis, and that is what really gets to me as a parent, as a mother, and as a citizen. And it just seems like our government doesn't seem to be talking about it anymore. I mean, when the new commissioner for police commissioner Cressida Dick, when she came in, one of the things she said, and I remember that she was going to make knife crime one of our priorities. And she said it, and that was then, and we haven't heard anything since then. Ironically, a few days after she said that was when this guy decided to attack people in Westminster. I know, that makes you smile a bit, but it's not a funny thing. It's nothing to smile about, nothing funny about that. But with all the campaigning and electioneering going on, our government hasn't said, we haven't heard anything at all from any of the parties, any of the major ones, not Labour, I'm a member of, not Conservatives, not UKIP, none of them are talking about this thing that is becoming an epidemic. Because when you have something that is happening on that kind of rate, this might sound a bit morbid, but I can almost guarantee that by the time I get back home, there's gonna be another one. I know that sounds really, really terrible, but that is the trend we're beginning to see on a regular basis now. And it's just so unfortunate that in a country like this, in a city like this, these things are going on. We can make noise about things happening in Nigeria, but countries like that, they have their own set of problems. And then we look at the United States and we get all worked up when we see a policeman shooting an unarmed black child. But here, these are kids killing each other. So what do we say about that? And this particular topic, I always had this. My guest was the person I always had in mind to talk, about it with me. Anytime I, plan to talk about it, it's a guy that I met at an event. Well, I've met him at 3 events, although you probably just remember one. It's a young man. He's been through the system. He's still in the system. When I say the system, that is part, well, I don't mean this that can mean different things. When you say somebody is in this, they can mean different things. But he's grown up in this country. He's seen all kinds of things. That's what I mean. And today he's a global leadership speaker. He's an entrepreneur. He's a youth coach and mentor. He's also an author. He's written about 4 books: How to Become a Leader, How to Become an Entrepreneur, Hitting the Target, and The Way to Distinction. Did I get that right?
Doorway to
the doorway to this. Yeah. Do you know why I looked at it? Because I wrote it down and I couldn't read what I wrote.
It's okay.
So I was like, if I look at you correctly, so yeah, the doorway to distinction. Please help me welcome Onyi Anyado to the show, everybody.
Thank you so much, Baroness.
Thank you
for the opportunity.
Yeah, it's a great pleasure. It's a great honor to have you on the show with me. This is a young man that's achieved, so much, so much. But he hasn't always been plain sailing, has he?
No.
Yeah, just tell us very briefly about yourself.
Okay, my name is Onyi Anyado, Onyebuchuku Ifato Anyado, for our global listeners.
Okay.
So I was born and raised in Hackney, East London, to a 2.4 family. My father, my mother, my sister and myself.
Oh, 2.4.
Yeah.
2.4. Okay.
Yeah,
well, all right.
That's what they call it. 2.4 family.
That means dad, mom, and 2 kids.
Yes.
Right.
So me and my sister. Yeah. Unfortunately, at a very early age, I think when me and my sister were 7 or 8 respectively, my dad left. So for the majority of my childhood years and my teenage years, it was just me, my mum, and my sister. Thankfully, 6 years ago, after 25 years, me and my dad reunited on Father's Day.
On Father's Day, that's what a gift.
Yeah, it was the most emotional time of my life thus far.
So who made the first move? Was it you or dad?
My sister found him online, Googled his name, and then found out his address and all that, and then contacted him. And then
was it Nigeria or here?
He was here, yeah.
In the UK, really? You didn't see him in all those years?
No.
My God.
Yeah. So
so
Father's Day. Yeah. So Father's Day. And Justin Timberlake, cry me a river. I wasn't crying me a river, I was crying me an ocean. I hadn't seen this man for 25 years. I was crying.
Oh, wow. Okay, let's keep talking. We sort that one out.
Crying. Yeah. I went for the education system. It's a system. I went for the education system. Obviously, my mum being the best mum in the world, being a Nigerian, had to be a doctor, lawyer, or pharmacist.
Or engineer, or accountant.
Yes, or accountant. The only thing, I had no choice, but I had 5 choices. So I went for the secondary school, college. Even when I got to college, I didn't really know what I wanted to be, just rolling with it. Went to university to study management and marketing at Middlesex University in Northwest London. In the second year of university, unfortunately, I dropped out, began living a particular life called the street life. And that for a 10-year period, 6 of my friends got murdered, and then he got shot dead, and I went to prison twice. So I probably lived that life. Been there,
Okay, I'm
done
just
that.
going to stop you there. Somebody is eager to get. Oh, lost that.
Okay.
Please give us about 5 minutes, and they will start taking calls because I know people are eager to contribute to this topic.
Yes.
So please, thank you for listening. Thank you for joining. Thank you for logging on to listen to us. But please give us a few more minutes when it's time to start receiving calls. I'll let you know. So please. Do hold the calls for now, please. Thank you. Please continue.
So yeah, I went for the living the street life. It wasn't really, at the time, it wasn't really gangs. It was just young men, young black men in particular, that just hanging out on the streets, up to no good, just live that particular lifestyle. The latter stage of living that lifestyle, I knew I was better than this. Deep down in my heart, I knew.
So
I was better than that.
what kind of things did you see during 10 years? You said.
Yeah.
What kind of things did you encounter as a young boy? Young black boy on the street, just living gangster life. Well, you said not necessarily gang.
Yeah.
Not necessarily involved in gang, but living like a gangster.
Yeah.
What kind of things did you see on the streets?
Death, people getting stabbed, people getting shot. My own friends turning on me nearly getting shot. So it wasn't easy. It can make you hard. It can make you, it was tough.
Well,
It wasn't easy.
So were you like with guns, involved guns and knives?
No, I wasn't really a bad boy though. Because I'm not gonna come on radio and say I was a bad boy like that. But I was more of a hustler, more of a ladies' man. Obviously, I'm a changed man now anyway. So I wasn't really a bad boy like that. But I knew the bad boy, so I'm not gonna lie and say I was a bad boy. I was this and that. But yeah, I knew some real killers, some real bad boys, some real thugs. We were living that life. It was just that's all we knew.
Well, so what led you to make that change? What did you see that made you decide this isn't for me?
So the latter stages of living that life, I knew in my heart, I just knew. I was better than it. Prison, shootouts, living that whole life. So I became a born-again Christian on the 2nd of November, 2008, and then the journey started from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
2008, so did you go back to university? You finished?
No. So I the only job I saw myself doing at the latter stage of living the street life was becoming a counsellor, working in Haringey, North London for some strange reason. So I keep saying Haringey, I don't know why.
Yeah, those things. Well, thank God for that, because it makes me joyous when you hear about kids that have been through it and been through the street life and all that, and then change their mind and then come back and become, should I say normal, or become just change their life around and then doing great things and then mentoring others and all that. Yeah. So you in 2009 you gave your life to Christ.
Yes.
And so how did the journey to where you are now, how did it begin?
So it was tough. So I gave my life to Christ. I need to get my life back on track. So I went back to adult college to study. So I got some qualifications. Was to study counselling, level 1, level 2. Then I found out about life coaching. I was like, okay, sounds good. I couldn't see myself sitting in an office working 9 to 5. That was even coming from the street life. That wasn't really in me. So I went back to adult college, and then I found out about life coaching. So I went to do the course. It was a 3-day course. It was a 2-day, but the course was free. But obviously, at the end of it, they're going to sell something to you.
Definitely.
The cheapest course was £4,000 at the time. I didn't have £4 to my name, so I knew I wasn't going to do it.
It's free.
Yeah. So I got all the information, and from then it's just been an evolution of my gifts, my talents, and my passion, and it's just came up with a brand of distinction. Narrowed my market, and then from then, by the grace of God, it's just enjoying it and just making positive impact and changing the lives of many people locally and globally.
Yeah. So 9 years now you've been on this on this path.
Yes.
9 years, 2008 to 2000. So okay, now in all the years you've been a counsellor, because I'm also gonna take you back to those days if you don't mind. But in the years, you've been a counsellor, you've been a mentor, you've been a coach, you've been a speaker and all those things. What kind of things have you now seen? And how do they compare to when you walked that walk, when you lived that life, you walked, I'm a boy and a boy. Yeah. What do you see? How do you see things compared to how they were then?
Then it was, for example, it would be like 2 particular areas. So it could be Hackney versus Tottenham. That's got war, quote unquote. Can you imagine, in London? Or Brixton versus Peckham. Now it's literally one road versus another road, one estate, and these young people, they just, I feel for them. It's something is hard in their hearts. Their hearts are hard. They just don't care. They literally don't care.
So do you you obviously must come into contact with some of these boys, these gang boys, and I know you say they don't care, their hearts are hardened, Do these boys, what kind of homes do they come from? Are they necessarily from broken homes? Because when people want to comment, they say it's because of the training they get or lack of training, or they're from broken homes, they are children of single parents. Is that necessarily what you see all the time? Or would it be different? It's a
common, there's many attributes, or there's many parts to it. Definitely single parent, lack of discipline. Because it's not lack of discipline on the parents' part or the mother's part or the parents' part, but it's the lack of self-discipline. Because my mum was telling me, "Oh yeah, but you could stop going out." She was telling me, "Stop going out." Yes, well, I know, whatever. You know, boys, you know. So it's that, as you said, I want to be the man. I want to be man. I'm the guy. Yeah. You know, and I think sometimes society, our young people grow up too fast.
Well, so what kind of things, talk about lack of self-control, talk about hardened heart and all that. What kind of thing, would make, a young boy, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, I'm going to leave you at about, because when you talk about teenagers, you talk about children, I'm going to cap it at 18. 18 and below, you see the child. 19, you should know better, you're an adult. If you don't know by then, you're a fool. And you're going to end up being a fool unless something happens to you, to get your head correct. But I'm talking about these children now, because those are the ones that really, really get to me. We're still going to talk about the older ones. Yes. But a child of 12 or 13 up to 18, because there was a documentary I once saw, I was a report or something, and there were there was a counselor with this group of children, of teenagers, and they were being asked, "Hello, good evening, who's on the line, please? Welcome to the show, who's on the line?" Hello, good evening.
Good evening, my name is Deji.
Hello, Mr. Deji, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Where are you calling from? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from East London.
Okay, welcome to the show. Please have your say.
Yeah, basically, what we are seeing in our society is because of basically, I would blame their mom. Because if you look at it, I watched a documentary last week, which I'm really shocked as well. I know it's real. Because most of these kids, there is no dad for them. There is no dad. We tell them, look boy, this way you are going the wrong way. Because their mom, maybe it's that dad goes with another man when they are young or whatever the reason, is hiding the kids away from their dad.
Okay, hold on, Mr. Shea, I'm gonna stop you right there. Now, how old are you, if I may ask?
I'm 35 years old.
You're 35 years old. Now, okay, did you grow up in this country?
No, I did not.
You didn't grow up in this country. Now, okay, how many single, because I will tell you, I'm a single parent and I brought up 3 kids and one of them is a boy.
Yeah,
now,
right.
Okay, how many cases, because there is one thing to have the information because it's been passed down to you, but how many situations of that how many situations of what you described have you actually seen or experienced?
Right. I have seen more than 3 or 4 cases with their mom, right, talking to them because they are growing up. There's no dad to tell them off. And when they're talking to their mom, it's absolutely ridiculous. And if you want to come in, you want to leave them, they are kids, they are growing up, they're going to grow up, they're going to do this. Right? But if that is there to tell them off, then we start very hard. And last week, I watched a documentary on Charlie, like, all successful people in this country, they have their dad and their mom. And most of people end up in the prison, most of people in single moms, violent home, their mom is angry, because, I don't know, because, to be honest with you, this country, because they think, once they have the opportunity that, the government give me power, they have the council out, they have the money in their bank, they can do everything. You are destroying your child.
Okay.
Let me finish. One second, please. You should allow their dad to involve in their life. Stop taking the kids away from their dad. I've seen many times. No, you never see that is rubbish. You don't see that woman.
Okay. I hear you. I understand where you're coming from. Thank you very much for that. Thank you for your contribution, Mr. Shea. Thank you for that. Although I don't necessarily agree with you, but I do appreciate your contribution. I don't necessarily agree with you. Thank you. You can drop your phone.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You can say by a radio, but please drop the phone. Yes. You know, I'm not surprised that it's coming. That is one of the things we hear all the time. You know, I mentioned they are a single mother or something, you know. And when I was specifically asking him how many cases he's saying, because people will see one case, and then they generalize.
I think it's very dangerous and very sad to blame the mothers. It's not easy to grow a man. Can I break it down? Because I think I need to. The first gang I ever saw growing up, the first gang with guns, killing and murder, was when I was at home and I wasn't allowed out. I was watching TV. We had a black and white TV. Can you imagine growing up? And I saw cowboys and Indians. And the biggest gang was, because remember it was British going over to America. Yeah. They were representing their particular race and their particular culture. And they went to someone else's land to kill, to murder, to take what's not theirs. That's the first gang I've seen. And that went through the ages. So, yes, our young people are going through so much, but this gang thing's nothing new.
It's nothing new, absolutely not. It's not, because even in Nigeria, because we want to talk about single parents, and single parenthood is a notion that was actually coined in this country. But it doesn't mean to say that there are no single parents in Nigeria. The only difference would be that there'll be uncles and all other people around. Yes. But we know a lot of people in Nigeria as well that ended up as single parents, either because they lost their husband to death, or they were kicked out of their husband's house. And then, but in such cases, the kids live with their dad anyway. Yeah. But I have a lot of uncles that lived with my granddad, you know, and ended up on the streets. That ended up even crazier than some of the children see nowadays. Hello, good evening, welcome to the show. Who's calling, please?
Hey, Danny O'Brien.
Hello? Okay, can you do me a favor? Can you turn your radio, your device down, because it's filled? Okay, thank you.
It's Danny I'm from Ilford, Anti-Knife UK.
Hi, Danny.
Anti-Knife, I've been expecting your call. You're welcome to the show. Onyi saying hello to you.
Hi, Danny, how you doing?
How you doing, guys?
We're fine, thank you. Thank you for calling.
No problem.
Okay, yeah, have your say, please.
Say again?
I said, have your say, please.
Right, I'd like to correct you slightly. Not having a go at you, but actually we've had across London we've had 30 fatal stabbings this year.
This year alone, okay. Oh, I stand corrected. Okay, I said.
Country, we've had 99 fatal stabbings. This is the worst since I started doing records in 2014.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, so can you tell me a bit more, just very, very briefly, tell me a bit more about your organization, Danny?
Right, it's a non-for-profit group that I set up in 2008 after the sad death of Ben Kinsella in Israel.
Right, okay, yeah. Okay.
I then realised, it was then I had the wake-up call that, you know, knife crime is a problem.
It's a big one.
We're losing too many of our youths, and too many people altogether, whatever their age is. Now, you know, we hear too much in the media that it's a black problem. I disagree. It's a community problem.
It's a community problem, yes. Although there does seem to be a larger number of black children being, you know, becoming victims of that. I know, you know, I totally agree with you that it's kind of like it cuts across the community, black, Asian, white, whatever you name it. But there does seem to be a larger number of black kids, you know, falling victim.
There is a lot of Jamaican and type children being taken off our streets due to knife crime. But I went on a march on Sunday between Islington and Hackney.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And there was a mixture. There was every colour, every nationality, every sexuality at that march. And this is where we've got to try and get across to the media that it's not just a youth and gang problem. It's now a community problem. We have domestic violence. We have mental health issues. And there's out in there in London, there are a lot of kids doing great stuff.
Great stuff, absolutely, yes. We mustn't forget about that.
We focus on that. We focus on the bad. And one last thing I'd like to say is one of the issues that's not addressed is, and I'm sure your gentleman that's with you will agree, is boys and men don't talk. When we've got a problem, we hold it in. Where women can talk and discuss it with their friends, men can't. And that's what happens is the boy then gets frustrated, angry, and unfortunately gets into the mindset that, you know, he's angry with everybody. And then he gets paranoid, thinking that, the game's down the road, I better carry a knife because they might attack me. It's the mindset, and we need to get to talk to the men and the boys and understand their problems and get them to start talking rather than holding in their anger.
Absolutely. Thank you. We're going to talk on that. Thank you very much for calling in, Danny.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you very much for that. That was wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now, one of the things I was actually going to mention before Danny called, and we're going to talk about that. You know, a councillor sat with this group of young boys, who have been involved in knife crime. And what all three of them said was that, they didn't know he was going to die. They only wanted to frighten him, or they only wanted to hurt him. They didn't know he was going to die. And this kind of like, there's also a bit of naivety, in this young boy. Sometimes, it's like the impact of what they're doing, they don't really, understand it. They don't understand the full impact of the consequence of their actions.
But they're still children, and that's the thing about it, and that's what I said earlier. Sometimes society, maybe home, school environment, the streets, grows them up quickly. They're hardened, and it's someone said your decisions determine your destiny, and sometimes they don't think that split second, the consequences would destroy so many lives. I mean, look how many young people have been stabbed in the last 2 weeks.
I know. I mean, I got the figure because I actually googled the figures, but obviously he being within the closer to the system, he would know. Yes. You have something you hear grown up men say all the time. Even when I was young, guys, that what happens when there's a disagreement? We settle it with our fists, we beat each other up into a pulp, and then you go home and your mom beats you again, and then she puts rub on your body and rub, and they use hot water and all that, and then you go to bed and sleep for 20 hours. What happened to that? What happened to that? Why is it that knives have suddenly become the way to settle, grievances?
I'd like to go back forward. One of the biggest iconic films for the black community in America, because whatever America does, we follow as a nation, was Scarface. Oh, yeah. And Scarface, we know the story of Scarface. Black America embraced Scarface, which was violence, drugs, killing. But there wasn't one single black person on Scarface.
There was, no.
But yet, we embrace, and I say we as a race, we embraced that film. Violence is nothing new. Violence has been going on from time memorial. Do you know, I just stop you there, because when you mentioned Scarface, I could also think about New Jack City. Yes.
Because that's a bit more recent than Scarface, isn't it? It came after Scarface, and that had all black people in it. But
Scarface was strategic, because it came at a time, let's go back. The Black Panthers, they didn't want to invade America. All they want is equal rights. Then that got broken up and destroyed, and we know the history about that. Then all of a sudden, crack cocaine came, and everyone's now making money. When you begin living that lifestyle, you've got no consequences. I do work in prisons, and I speak to young boys, and some of them have got life, and I say, what made you hate that person enough to kill them? Like it's and many of them are hurting. But as Danny said, who can they speak to? Remember, when I was living the street life, who am I going to speak to? But tell my brethren, you know what? I'm emotionally unstable now, or I'm feeling tough. So it's not everyone they can speak to. Even when I speak to young boys in particular, it takes a lot of coaching for them to open up. Yeah, many of them are hurting.
Yeah. So, I'm going to go back to what the previous caller said about, not having a father figure in the house. So do you, not having a father figure, that doesn't put the blame on the mother, does it?
Not in any shape or form. It's not. Things happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Separation, divorce, violent man, violent woman. Things happen, but to put a blame on a woman for how a son or the son's grown up. Never,
exactly.
Not in a million years.
You know, so Mr. Shea, if you're still listening, please, I'm going to ask you to change your mindset.
Yeah.
Because to start with, I'm a single parent myself. I was married, but my marriage didn't work out. But I've more or less brought up 3 kids myself, and I've got a son who's in university. Never been in trouble. Never been with gangs. In fact, he's almost a coward. I actually brought him up to be a coward because I put the fear of God in him. I put the fear of God. I put the fear of street in. So he's really, really afraid. He had to step out of his house, And even now that he's in uni, I'm constantly, Mom, I'm okay. I know you'll be worrying you. I'm waiting for me in 2 days. I'm okay. I'm fine. So please stop blaming single parents. Single parents do not put knives in the hands of their kids.
No.
And they don't. Single parents are actually much more because you're not trying to make up for the other person that is not there. So we actually put more effort. Because if as a single parent, as a married person, for example, a mother, and then your husband is there, you probably won't be doing so much because your father will come and hear it. When your father comes, he will deal with you. So you just sit back.
When I didn't see my dad for 25 plus years, I wasn't angry, but the tears were tears of relief, joy, and this is the man I needed to hold on to, and I needed. And many young boys are like that.
I like that. Wow. So instead of blaming the woman the women, the single parents, women are doing. They can't the load of 2 people. So please stop putting the blame on single parents. And would you blame the government?
I think so many. Let's lay the blame at so many platforms, and let's talk about the government. I said it 4 or 5 years ago, particularly after the London riots, and it fell on deaf ears. Now that we're out of Britain, Britex, soft exit, hard exit, medium exit, whatever, out of Europe, sorry, there's a skills shortage. Any nation, particularly now, that doesn't know how to develop its young people are in problems.
Oh my
Eastern Europeans are leaving, we know that. So how are now you going to develop the young people? I mean, I delivered a Barclays life skills workshop. I was in Stockport yesterday delivering workshops around the country. So I think now the government has to come involved because these are British citizens.
Yeah.
Who's going to do the construction work in the next 5-10 years? This nation has got no natural resources, has got an aging population, and you don't know how to develop your youth. There's problems. So I believe someone in the government's listen. Now is the time to, and it comes from how can I say it? Rechanging the education system.
Yeah.
The system, I'm sorry to say, the education system kills creativity. It doesn't talk about your gifts, your talents, your purpose, your passion. It doesn't do it.
Yeah, because we that is a very valid point, and we're going to address that. But I'm coming from the from the viewpoint of discipline. When it comes to discipline, a government that kind of takes, because I'll quote the Bible. The Bible says, spare the rod and you spoil the child.
Yeah.
And I think children in this country have been allowed to not just get spoiled but rotten.
Yeah.
Because when the moment the government takes the rod out, and I don't mean rod like virtue, that proper rod. I don't mean real rod.
Yeah.
I mean the rod of discipline.
Yes.
You can't talk to your child. You can't smack your child. And it always comes back to this. And I don't mean, I think I said it last week. We're not talking about beating your child into a stupor that you have to carry them off to hospital, no. But actually discipline your child. I mean, real discipline. A friend of mine was sharing with me last week. Thank God it's all over now. But what happened was that she found a daughter. Please apologies if you're listening. Apologies, but I wasn't planning, it just popped into my head. But what happened was that she found her daughter, surfing the internet, and she fell upon in a wrong side. Let me just put it that way. And she really, really lost it with her.
Yeah.
So she got to school, and it kind of came out that her mom was angry with her. And before you know it, the school's calling. Social services. And we have so many cases like this, so many. I can talk of at least 3 that I know of personally that people have confided, that people have talked to me about little things happening at home that you tell your child of. The normal way an African or Nigerian woman would tell her child of, and before you say Nigeria, the school is involved, social services is involved, police is involved, and there was no beating involved in this. This was just sit down there, you're not going to do this for a week, I'm taking off and I'm taking this, and then it's not just about corporal punishment anymore. It's not about mental torture, it's not mental abuse. And a lot of parents have lost control. They've lost the way. They just say, what, just do what you want, we can't touch you, your government won't let us touch you, the government, I don't want to go to jail, I don't want blah blah blah. So parents are actually now frightened to discipline their child, to put and I'm not talking about single parents now, Mr. Shea, if you're still listening. These are parents, these are mom and dad, in their own homes with their children and they can't discipline their children. What do you say to that?
And that's a big issue, and I agree with you 100%. When I was born, I think I was taller than my mum. When I was a teenager, I was taller than my mum. You know, when I got born, and I was born tall. So, but she could always slap me. She could always discipline me. I mean, one time, watch. I'm gonna call the NSPCC, whatever it's called. She goes, go on then, okay. And she gave me the phone. Then I remember there was a lock on the phone. The beating that she gave me, I never said I'll call NSPCC again. So you're right, it's not just physical thing, but it's that discipline. Like, for example, when I was in secondary school, I had to be home at 6 o'clock sharp. Now we see our young people, remember there are young children, eating chicken and chips 8 o'clock on the road. So by the time they come back, they're full up, they're tired, their parents might be coming back from work, there's no family time. So how can we communicate with each other when you're full up, you're tired, and you're going to go to your bedroom and be on WhatsApp for 2 hours?
And then probably wake up in the middle of the night because somebody's, Snapchatting them, and then this, because technology, I'm going to blame technology as well, because technology also plays a big part in the way our kids are growing up. When I was, that sounds like decades ago, when I was growing up, we had black and white TV, even more black and white. I only had one TV in the entire house. It was a more massive box that is like you have to smack it before it works. Those ones that you open and shut. And then you turn it on, that it takes about 15 minutes for the line to come, and then the bar thingy, and then the station, and then it plays Nigerian anthem for about 2 hours. And that's taking me back. But in those days, you sit down, and the only time you are allowed to see or watch TV is when the 9 o'clock news is on.
Yeah.
My father would come and sit down with that. Either when they were playing, when the news is on, or they play football.
Yeah.
That was the only time we were allowed to watch football. That was the only time we were allowed to watch TV. But nowadays, they watch whatever they want.
Yeah.
I go to my kids. They're grown up now, so I can, I've kind of like relaxed a bit for them. I didn't know I've relaxed because they remind that mom, you used to be so wicked. You used to do this. Now, all those things are fed. Like sit down and put your legs and your arms up like a tortoise like that. I punish my kids. Oh my God, I really did punish them. And I think I was kind of like trying to make up for the fact that my ex wasn't there anymore. And I didn't want the report to come back that, you spoiled them. You don't look at, the kind of things that people say. So I said to them that you are not going to give me a bad thing. Nobody's going to come back and say you spoiled these kids because you're a single parent. So I kind of like went crazy on them. Sometimes I attack them. There was a day my son got on the bus to go down the road, and when he was coming back, he got on the wrong bus and ended up in Crystal Palace instead of Woolwich.
Wow.
So when he came back, I was worried. I was driving around Woolwich in my car. I had things coming out from my. I was just, just on the last part. I said, what? I think it's time to go and report to the police that my son is missing, and my daughter. And I had all kinds of things flashing through my head. Oh my God! It's probably like that. Somewhere it's probably covered in blood. The worst case scenario. Yeah. But it wasn't that. It was just a mistake. He just got on the wrong bus home, and he ended up. He said he didn't know. He didn't want to tell the driver to stop, and then he would get off at the place that he wasn't even familiar with. So he decided to wait to go to the bus, to the bus stop, to the bus garage. Hello, good evening. Who's calling, please? I think I recognize that number.
Yeah, I'm the one who called Anyado.
Yes, Mr. Sheyi. You're welcome back. Yeah.
It's a nice program.
Thank you.
My point, I think you're not getting my point. My point, what I'm trying to make, I don't blame single mother.
Oh, thank God for that.
My point is, I'm blaming the mother, which doesn't allow their dad to import in the children's life.
Okay. So it's not just single parents. So it's a case where the father.
Because my neighborhood, I live in estate,
Okay.
Some kids making a bath. I'm talking to their mother, but I think I don't want their dad to be involved in their life because they do one or two things. Fine, the relationship can break up with one thing or another. That's fine, that's right. But you have to allow the father to involve in their children and their children.
That's you're very right.
That's my point.
You're very right. You're right. Thank you. Yeah, you've cleared. That's been cleared up. Thank you for clarifying that for us. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, he called to say that he's not blaming single parents. Thank you for that. What he's saying is that when the father is there, mothers should allow the fathers to have a say. And oh my God, somebody, that very line can't I resonate? Because somebody mentioned it over the weekend that in some cases, where there's the mother and father are there on site, and then the father is trying to discipline the child, and the mother, please don't keep my child from me, oh, leave me, he's my only son, oh. I hope that person, I think it was Mr. Olu that mentioned it, I think it was actually in a call last week. If he's listening, please can you call? And he says something like that the mother be crying, leave my son, oh, you killed me today, so you to beat my son. And of course, not surprising. Thank you for bringing that up, Mr. Sheyi. That some kids like that too, because they know somebody will always have their back. My mom, when they've been spoiled, they not said, not just spoiled, but actually allowed to rot. Kids like that do get rotten when they pampered and they covered and they protected, and they do wrong. They've obviously done wrong, but the person that is there that's supposed to tell them or discipline them is the one shielding them.
For me, I know we've got many parents listening, single mothers or single fathers even.
Single fathers, yeah.
For me, I like to be solution based. If a child is living in your house, 18 years of age, 16, 15, and you tell him, I'm not an old school man or nothing like that, but if you have to lay down the rules and say, 8 o'clock in this house, full stop. No buts. No buts. Forget police for social. 8 o'clock in this house, full stop. I know a family. The mum was telling me that before the children go to bed, she takes all their mobile phones. She's got all their pins, and they're not having the phones overnight.
That's now I think we're in that stage of the show that we're talking about solutions, because now we know what the problem is, obviously.
Yes.
And I think to parents, I'm gonna try and read some messages because I see a lot of comments on Facebook. I'm gonna try and read as many of them as possible. So if you're listening, you've got sons that are still manageable, because once they get to a certain age, they're not manageable anymore. You just be begging them, but because discipline is it's useless if it didn't start when they were little.
Yeah.
You can't start this. You can't spoil a child for 16 years and then assume when he's 17, 18, you can start laying down the law.
I've been in some schools. I do schools across London and I've seen. I have to discipline the children to tell them, don't speak to your teacher like that. Because if you're speaking to your teacher like that and with no sort of respect, how are you going to respect your father, your mother? So, and I'm not an old man, but I don't want them to mistakes the mistakes I made. Yeah. I was never really disrespectful to my mum, because a right hand slap was a slap that sometimes I feel now.
Oh, backhand.
So your right discipline is so important.
Yeah.
I've been to some schools when the discipline, it's terrible. But then, as you said, when the government begins to take away discipline from the parents, if you shout at your child, we're going to call social services, then we're going to have a generation that has no discipline.
No, exactly. No discipline, then no control. And also, because we this is not something you can, although I'm tempted to limit it to the Nigerian African community, but hopefully the people from other communities listening as well, this cannot be limited.
No.
And when we lay the blame, yes, we can lay the blame at the door of the government for taking the rod out of the so to speak, out of the parents' hands, but parents as well have their role to play. When for example a child just because he feels like picks up a rock and then throws it and breaks the windscreen of another person's car, and then you go and knock on the door and report to the mother, and the mother comes out, so what are you gonna do by it? You're only kidding about so the child just playing around a Nigerian woman will look at that child and whack you, and then you find your head roll that way and your legs roll that way, but other people tend to kind of protect their children. It's obviously been caught doing something wrong. Apologize to the person that's come to, rather than take your kid to one corner and beat the living daylights out of them and just leave them there. I've actually come to your doorstep and brought you and presented your kid. This is what your kid has done.
Yeah.
Rather than shouting at that person, rather than insulting that person, rather than rain abuse on that person, apologize.
Yeah.
Even threaten your kid in front of that. Look, your child benefit is gonna fix that window or that glass. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna sell your shoes. I've told my kids one day, I'm gonna sell your shoes. I think she broke a plate. And different kinds of ways of discipline.
I think communication is key. There's a generation gap between, and not just black, but generation gap between this generation of young people and their parents. That 30, maybe 40 year, that 40 year generation gap is so big. even me as someone that works with young people, a few years, I had to now keep my ear on the streets, understand the language of the times, because everything's changing now, everything's changing so fast. So young people don't know how to communicate or don't want to communicate. And they believe they don't know how to, their parents don't understand them. So for the parents listening, please, I want to challenge you, take a time, maybe once, twice, 3 times a week, sit down with your children, no TV, no phone, and talk.
Just go camping. I think I suggested that. Just take your kids camping. I actually suggested that to dads. Take your sons camping. Just do man things with them. Just take them out, bond with them, even if you know the mother anymore. Because the fact that you're no longer with the mom, the fact that father and mom are no longer together doesn't mean you divorce yourself from your children.
No. Your
kids are always going to be yours. Take time and bond with them and get to know them. And then you can be a part of their life. And when you're a part of their life, then you can discipline them. You can't discipline them from across the sea. You don't have any input, but you want to be sending messages. Yeah, your mother said you need this. Behave yourself. You have to be there, even if you're not there. If you're not under the same roof. If you're involved in their lives, if you know everything about them, then when it's time to discipline them, of course you can also do that. They will listen to you.
But then I realize now I have to be a father figure for this generation.
Oh wow!
Because many of them don't know their father, don't like their father, don't respect their father. But when I go into schools, particularly when I go into prisons, and I'm a young man, I think I've got the style, the swagger, etc., etc. Yeah. But when I'm speaking to them, I'm not a motivational speaker. When I'm speaking to them, they're hearing my passion and my pain, and I'm disciplining them. Many young people, they've never been to... I went to a school in Birmingham, and I will never ever forget. The teacher said, she said, half of our boys have got no father figure, and they've never heard a young man like you disciplined with them so much love.
Wow.
She said, they've never heard that. The way they were looking at me like, you understand?
Probably the first time they ever had anybody like that. I'm gonna try and take some of the comments I've come up with. There's been quite a few. Okay, let me see. Sometimes this thing just freezes. Okay, Temi says it's really sad. Yes, it is. Let me okay, that's the first one. Jennifer is the solicitor. Obaseki solicitors. Okay. Welcome. Thank you very much. She says, well done for raising this. The deaths are out of control. Absolutely. When we meet the royal says too sad and frozen. I don't know. I just can't read the rest. And please keep the comments coming. Please keep the calls coming. We've still got about 10 minutes for the end of the show. 07496936110. It's still Baroness J here at NaijaFM. Coming to you on www.naijafm.com and also 101.1 FM. And of course on Facebook. And I still got my special guest with me today is Onyi Anyado.
Yes, Onyi. I'm so proud of that name. Before, when I was in secondary school, they didn't know my name. But now when I go to schools and I tell them, kids, if you be quiet at 3 o'clock, I'll tell you my full name. At 3:10, sir, what's your name? What's your full name? So when I'm telling them my full name, they're like, what did you say? After the Onyi,
Onyi Buchuku. Okay, see me, I can say Buchuku. Onyi Buchuku Anyado is still my guest about this J's Road today, and we're talking about so many things. Actually, we're talking about knife crime, of course. We're talking about street life of kids, running the streets. We're talking about discipline. We're talking about control. We're talking about kids not listening to their parents, and we're also talking about kids not being able to discipline their children. So we've talked about what parents can do. Listen to your kids more, try to understand them, spend time with them. But how about in cases where the parent is trying everything? Because you see some parents and I don't know what to do anymore. I've tried everything. I don't know. They just won't listen to me. How about this is not a show that young people listen to. Unfortunately, I wish. As this is going on, that some young children, some young people, or some young persons can actually listen to this. What would you say to them? Because, we might want to say the parents are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, or they're doing it, but they're not doing enough. But how about the kids just don't want to know? How do you speak to those ones?
Like I said, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, I was speaking to some young children, or young boys, young men, really. I always tell them, you've only got one life to live. I don't subscribe in reincarnation. You're not going to die and come back as a goat or come back as you're gone. I know many people, my associates, they're not associates anymore, but they're still in prison after 15, 20 years, still.
Wow.
So they have to realize, one of my quotes said, leadership isn't about age, but rather leadership is about influence, impact, and inspiration. I don't listen to rap music anymore, but I always give them a Tupac quote. Even a genius asks his questions. Every single young person is a genius. But they now need to ask question, what's my gift? What's my talent? What's my passion? Because yeah, you can make small money, you can live that particular life, but you have to face the consequences. Every single young person, and that's why I said the education system has to change, because we're not giving the young people the opportunity to grow their gifts, find their talents, nurture their passion. So as a young people, it's so vital to find their gifting, their talents and their passion. Remember, I want to become a counsellor. Now by the grace of God, I'm a global speaker, entrepreneur, author. But it's an evolution, it's step-by-step process. It wasn't easy. In fact, it was unbelievably hard. I cried so many times. But at the same time, I had a vision for my life, and it's written that people perish from a lack of vision. So it's so important that young people, okay, I want to be an accountant. Okay, what qualifications do you need? What college you have to go to? What's your talent? What's your gift? And may I say parents as well, particularly the African, stop telling doctor, lawyer, pharmacist. There's nothing wrong with that. But communicate with them, ask them, okay, what would you like to be? It's so important. Yeah. If not, when can you get to ask that question? When you're in prison? When you're dying on the streets of London?
That's loaded, you know. You've only got one life to live. You know, just before we finish,
yes.
You know, I thought I was going to get more comments. Usually you have more comments on this, but it's sort of frozen. Okay, I've got Kemi Clamas has just shared it. Thank you very much for doing that. Thank you to everybody that's you know, the comments. I'll still got about 5 minutes. If you can still get the calls in 07496 936 110. We can take 1 or 2 more calls before we end the show. But lastly, what is your next project? If I may ask.
Okay, so I've got quite a few going on. To be fair, I recently launched How to Become an African Leader of Distinction. So
African Leader of Distinction. Okay,
I launched that in January. So I'm mentioning quite a few young Africans, 12 in total from around Africa. So I'm giving coaching sessions, but also still doing the schools. Seems to be doing a lot of ministry work now. A lot of people are calling me for that. So I'm here to serve my generation.
Oh, that's great.
One of my quotes, I said, my role as a role model is for my generation to excel in a role of distinction. So yeah, it's just that leadership, it's that youth leadership for them to understand that they are leaders. So that's at schools, conferences, youth ministries, across the educational board. So I'm here to be used and abused by the young people, so at least they can find their purpose.
No, we'll use you. We don't want, if you are abused, you probably won't want to come back. So we'll use you. So if anybody watching wants, you know, think, I like what he's talking about, we want to get maybe, you know, bring you on to talk to a group of young people, or they want you to mentor some kids, or you know, how can they contact you?
Yeah, so my website, all my details are there. I saw someone's asking for a number, please. My website is oamediahouse.com. That's oamediahouse.com.
Okay, that's your initial.
Yes, OA. So if I put Onyi Anyado, no one will be able to write it. So oamediahouse.com. oamediahouse.com. And I think for the last time, because I've done it, this is my second Facebook Live chat in about 3 days, which is very interesting. Okay. Very interesting. So yeah, oamediahouse.com. And yeah.
And I think the person they actually wanted the studio number is 07496 936 110. That's 07496 936 110. And if you want to get in touch with Onyi for anything, maybe you want to bring him on, you know, to address some children. I know there are a lot of people in our community that, you know, run youth schemes and all those kind of things.
Yes.
So his website is oamediahouse.com.
Yes.
OA, that's O for Udo, A for Apple. Mediahouse.com.
Yes.
So yeah, that brings us to is there anything else you want to add to that? We've come to the end of the show, but if you have anything else to say, or maybe those people that wanted to call us can still hold on 07496 936 110. Can still get a few more minutes. Can still get the calls in 07496 936 110. And so I'm going to ask you about some of the awards that you've won, because I was actually I think 1 or 2 events that you won awards. I think one was for the Good Samaritan.
Yeah, so last year, I think December.
It was December, because I won an award there.
Yes.
And we sat at the same table.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. So I won, the Motivational Speaker of the Year, which I was very honoured. Thank you, Councillor Fumi. Thank you so much for that. I've won, I think, something at the Nigerian House of Commission for the work I was doing with young Nigerians. It's humbling, but I don't think I've started my journey yet.
Really?
I've got a long way to go. This is just, I've been in third gear or second stroke third gear.
So you kind of like, might we see you going into politics, maybe as a councillor, MP, following the footsteps of of your fellow countryman, Chuka.
No. It's not my. I know my purpose. No, it's not politics. I'll speak to politicians and prime ministers and presidents, of course. Definitely, I'll give them counsel.
Yeah.
But no, my passion is young people in particular, but people development in particular. My life story is called From Detention to Distinction.
Distinction. That's great. That's absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much. It's been wonderful. It's been a great 1 hour.
Yes.
It's been an eye opener. Thank you to the to Mr. Sheyi and Danny that called in. Thank you very much. Okay, I think that's Danny. I think that looks like Danny's number. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Baroness J's World. Who's calling, please?
I'm really savage. I've been watching your program.
All right. Okay. Oh yeah. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. And I know you were asking for the number, weren't you?
I was watching the penny posted it. I was able to say it.
Right. Look.
I commend the speaker and it's well done. But I just want to touch upon the issue about there are some boys or children that you just can't reach up to. Parents can give the education, community can support, and I think that is an area we need to explore more, and that's the reason I want to speak with you.
Okay.
I'm into parenting, I'm into something like chemical is aware of it. I work within the Muslim community as well. So
Right.
it's something I'm passionate about, and I commend you for sharing this platform with us. But one thing we need to think about, and it's probably going to be a joint effort from all sides, irrespective of faith, organization, whatever, we need to reach out to those children that are not listening, that are not engaged with anybody, and they're the ones. Pardon me for saying this. I think I'm going to be speaking for this. They're the ones that we're losing up to knife crime. There are some unfortunate ones. They are the wrong place at the wrong time. But there are some hardcore children that are actually into crime. And, they are giving money to our society, to our community. So we need to find a strategy how we can want to reach out to them.
To them,
It's unfortunate you go to prison and see them. They're going to be going through the criminal justice system is full of them. And it's just, the last 2 weeks just been...
I know, it's been heart-wrenching, hasn't it?
Yeah.
11 in just a fortnight.
Yeah, so for me, it's just that people that there are some core section of our society, because across race, because across religion, because across gender,
absolutely.
Boys. So we need to maybe, I don't know, comfort. I know it's saying something in the sense but, we need to think about, and this is why, I don't know whether and I know, you don't know if I follow you, but
thank you.
The Nigeria Commission needs to be on board with it, we just have to be.
Yeah, we do.
And I don't want to stop politicizing or anything. Nigeria Commission needs to be the welfare minister, I haven't met him, but I'm aware of him to my colleague,
Okay.
So, not to go on and on, but that's what I just want to reach out to you that you're probably in the right position to do that, and if you can maybe have it on your radar, and if you speak to me about the general cycle, I'm happy to help you in any way.
Oh, lovely. We bear that in
We need
mind.
to reach out to some of these element that's causing many, and I mean causing many without using my word, because it's just destroying our community. I mean, how can it be Nigerian children all the time?
Well, because it's not just Nigerian children, though there seems to be a big number of Nigerian children, but it's from all, cuts across different communities, yes.
It's just this prevalent, Sheyi, I never Sheyi from the North Panel,
Sheyi Macmillan.
the Cody case, and I followed it from, Taylor, Taylor, 2000, and go over the years, you look at all the names, it seems to feature more than any other African community.
Yeah.
And that's the angle I'm looking into. Why should I know probably our growing population, maybe that's an element of it, but we're not known for that. And it sounds me, and a lot of parents are grieving. A lot of parents are grieving. I would hate to be one of them. I want to.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you do feel for the parents.
Yeah. So I do feel for the parents. I want to support the community, and I just thought I'd reach out to you. Thank you so much for
Thank you very much for that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you. Do you want to say something about that? Just briefly. No? Okay. Yeah, that kind of reminds me. A couple of years ago, we were at this event at the Nigerian High Commissioner. Some community leaders were being sworn in, and the chairman of Kano then, put his hand on his heart and swore that he was going to single-handed, fight knife crime and bring an end to it. Well, 2 years down the line, it's actually probably increased since he became chairman of Kano. But thank God, a new executive is coming in, and hopefully, I really don't know what any individuals can do, because we've run out of time now. But it just occurred to me, I was actually going to say something about maybe the government should look back into stopping and searching these youngsters. See them, just search them. We don't care anymore. Search them.
Okay, that's good. But remember, now police are going to be carrying tasers. Now, if you're stopping and searching, and a young person must say no, what's the first thing the police are going to do? Pull out the taser.
Just arrest them. Don't tase them or anything. Don't shoot them. Don't tase them.
I think we need to get to the root of the problem, and even start younger, maybe at primary school level, and begin to nurture and teach our young people. Because sometimes 16, 17, 18 might be too late. Yeah. And stop and search is not the answer. Not just the answer.
Well, I'm actually thinking on we can look at other preventative means, but at least for now, to stop this killing for now, we need to do something about it. And I think, I can't think of anything else really. Because if you see them, just search them, empty their pockets, empty their bags. If they're okay, send them on their way. Thank you very much. I'm out of time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming.
For
Absolutely. It's been wonderful having you. Thank you so much. Thank you. To all of my listeners, to everybody that's called in, and to everybody commenting on Facebook. Great interview. Vanessa says, great interview. Thank you very much. Alan says, great episode. Well done. Thank you very much. Who else? Temi says, okay, just quoted your website, oamediahouse.com here. Also, can we have the station number? Oh yeah, she just called. Thank you very much to everybody.
Thank you.
Been great work, Baroness J. I'll be here again, same studio, same time, 6 p.m. NaijaFM. God bless you. Have a good day. Bye bye.
If you're trying to buy land or invest in property, you'll know that there are hundreds of companies out there selling all sorts of land and property deals. But you need to choose wisely. Before you do